Today is Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. I'm Reverend Karen Gray with Unity Center, DC. And we'll start out by looking at the daily word, which for today is forgiveness. And the daily word publication gives us a really nice affirmation for today. I forgive and I am free. And here's the message. When I have experienced something painful and it weighs heavily on my heart, I may want to offer forgiveness, but how? How do I forgive when I am still in pain over the actions of another? I begin by surrendering my bruised feelings in the silence and opening the way for the free flow of love and peace throughout my soul and body. I quiet my mind. I release all thoughts as I focus on my breath. Settling deeper into the silence, I let go. I speak these words. I release you. I let you go. You are free. I am free. And so it is. As these words resonate in my heart, I begin to feel light and free. I greet the peace I have gained through forgiving. And I'm just going to go back to those lines inside that message and invite everybody, if you haven't done so already, if you want to, call to mind a person, maybe a circumstance where you feel like you've got some forgiveness capacity there, and call that to mind, even if it's someone you're really mad at or disappointed in, maybe even yourself. Anyway, and then let's try on these words again. Concentrating on your breath, going inside to the stillness where you remember that all is well, and affirm, I release you. I let you go. You are free. I am free. And so it is. And as we go into meditation, I'd like to share a few thoughts about forgiveness. One is that to forgive is not to grant a favor out of generosity or righteousness. It's not a grand gesture. It's not a gesture at all. I think a gesture is something that is outward, an outward expression, and forgiveness really happens inside. It is completely eternal. It is completely internal. It's a release. So a loosening, a relaxing. It is, think of it this way, a return to normal. You, my friend, were not born bitter. You weren't born with a grudge. To hold on to a grudge is to kind of be less than you actually are. So we don't want to let somebody else or some circumstance make us less than who we are, so we release it. To be fully forgiving is a relief. To take ourselves out of that presumed position of judging somebody, that is a load off. We don't want that. Why would we want that responsibility? First of all, I don't want to be judging anybody because I know my approval is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Secondly, I know that God's approval does matter, and they've already got it. They've already got it. That is right. Even the person who has somehow done me harm is a beloved child of God. Even somebody who has hurt me somehow, God sees as perfect. And to balance that out, when I have hurt someone, when I haven't lived up to my best, God isn't mad at me either. Our great unity teacher, Emmett Fox, says that if something that you're seeking in your life, in your world, is not coming to you, then stop. Check inside. Have you got something to forgive? Whatever you're holding on to is holding back the prosperity, the peace, the perfect health, but whatever it is that represents the gift of God to you. We block our good when we hold on to a grudge. Forgiveness is the acceptance that God is doing God's job well enough, and we don't need to evaluate it, and we don't need to condemn any part of it. Forgiveness really is faith. It's a very deep expression and deep experience of faith. I'd like to share some forgiveness affirmations. Make sure you're comfortable, relaxed, but also alert. Breathing fully, deeply, naturally. Beginning with one of Lafayette's affirmations. I am the Jesus Christ law of forgiveness and consuming flame of all inharmonious action and human consciousness. I am the Jesus Christ law of forgiveness and consuming flame of all inharmonious action and human consciousness. One more time. I am the Jesus Christ law of forgiveness and consuming flame of all inharmonious action and human consciousness. And allow these words, please, to be your own. I think they're really good for us all. I forgive myself for holding a grudge, and I choose to release it now. As I forgive myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. Each day is a new opportunity. I let go of the past as I find myself in this perfect present moment. I am open to this day. I am forgiving, loving, gentle, and kind. And I am safe in the knowledge that life loves me. Forgiveness is safety. We naturally forgive when we remember that we can be defenseless and we're safe. I release shame, guilt, and judgment. Again, I release shame, guilt, and judgment, just as divine love would have me do. I may be aware of regret. If so, I notice it, I acknowledge it, and I let it go. I am perfectly present, clear, and complete. Let's spend a few minutes in the silence. And we can even feel any little hints of resentment. We can feel them kind of flake off and be released, because we know that they don't serve us well. What does serve us well? God, faith, love, community, silence, focus. We soak up all those great gifts. As I forgive myself, it becomes easier to forgive others. When we forgive, we let down baggage, and we are so much more nimble to move through life. And we find in our hearts a kernel of golden light that wants to expand throughout our being, and we allow it. We allow that. And that golden light causes any residual regret or resentment to just dissolve. We are filled with that light. Do you see that? There is no reason to hold on to any grudge. You don't need to. It had its purpose. It's done. Now you're done. You're done with it. Peace. Peace be with you. Peace be with us all. And anything you have put down during this time, you don't need to pick up again. So why don't you state that declaration to yourself? Even say these words to yourself: I am free. I am free. My faith makes me free. You know, faith and bitterness can't occupy the same space, so we got to get rid of that bitterness because we want as much faith as possible in our lives, right? Now it's time to come out of this meditation, but to always remember these principles of truth. So I invite you to gently open your eyes and invite the awareness of the space you occupy, the space that is comfortable and safe for you, the community here with you. So grateful for you.